Liverpool 3, Southampton 0, Klopps kids shine yet again. Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. Welcome back to the channel, welcome to another video. It's another instant match reaction we've got going on for you right now as Liverpool have made it through to the quarter-final stages of the FA Cup. The road to Wembley is once again a step closer as Liverpool beat Southampton in the 5th round of the FA Cup tonight, 3-0. A very good result by Jurgen Klopp's side, who obviously fielded another batch of kids tonight. Some that we've seen over the past week or so. Some familiar faces in there as well. But either way, a big win tonight for Liverpool against Southampton. And now it sets up a very intriguing quarter-final draw against Manchester United. The draw was made before the games even kicked off tonight. United were also in action against Nottingham Forest. They left it late to beat Nottingham Forest in that one. Casemiro with a goal there. Chelsea are also through tonight, again coming from behind to beat Leeds United by 3-2 and a 5-goal thriller there. That Conor Gallagher got the winning goal in injury time. It could have gone from bad to worse for Chelsea, couldn't it? But they won as well tonight, as well as Wolves. A big win there for Gary O'Neill's side against Brighton. But of course, we're here to talk about Liverpool and their 3-0 victory over Southampton sets up, like I say, a mouth-watering encounter with Manchester United in the quarter-final stages. The final stage before, of course, a semi-final at Wembley awaits the winners in this one. Liverpool are down to the final 8. And we're going to be talking about this game and where Liverpool go from here. Before we go any further though, I would like to remind you all, please like the video and also subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section as well. Let me know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it tonight in regards to the result, in terms of the game itself, in terms of the next round being Liverpool versus Manchester United. It was a bit weird actually that they did decide to do the draw before a ball was even kicked tonight. Usually they do wait until all the games have been played, or at least the games have been played before going to a replay, if that is to be obviously the case in the 3rd and 4th round. But tonight they got a bit ahead of themselves and they decided to do it before obviously a ball was kicked tonight, which was a bit strange. But either way, it set up this intriguing tie with Manchester United for the quarterfinals, thanks to a 3-0 victory by Liverpool, in which youngsters Luis Kumas and a Jadon Dan's brace helped Liverpool towards the victory tonight. A big win for the Reds. So let's get into it, shall we? First and foremost, I want to say Southampton gave a really good account of themselves tonight. They played very well indeed. It was just the difference in finishing, the difference in composure, the difference in quality that ultimately set the difference for the two sides. I felt Liverpool it wasn't exactly a vintage Liverpool performance, and nor should it have been when you consider that the amount of youngsters that are on the pitch, when you consider that obviously a few of those players, the familiar names especially, had obviously played a large amount of game time on Sunday, of course, in the 120 minutes that obviously played out at Wembley between themselves and Chelsea, in which Liverpool were Carabao Cup final winners, just in case you didn't know. But yeah, it was ultimately a victory for Liverpool that by hook or by crook they needed to get done. And that is exactly what they did. I felt 3-0 probably flattered them a little bit. It was probably harsh a little bit on Southampton as well, because they did play some good football at times. They weren't there simply to take part. They actually gave a really good account of themselves. They created some really good opportunities, particularly in the first half, and one gilt-edged chance in the second half. But like I say, it was a difference in finishing. It was the quality in finishing from Liverpool's youngsters in comparison to those of Southampton that ultimately won the game for Jurgen Klopp's side. It was a very good account of themselves from Southampton's point of view, but Liverpool get the job done when it matters most. Going into the game, the intriguing part was going to be what the formation was, what the setup was, who was going to play. Obviously, everyone was expecting a lot more, another batch of kids tonight, simply for the reason that obviously a lot of players are currently injured for Liverpool, if you hadn't already known. And of course, with them playing on Sunday, in that grueling encounter with Chelsea. It was going to be interesting to see, fitness-wise, how Klopp was going to rotate things. And apart from I think there was Bradley and Kelleher and Van Dijk and Harvey Elliott, of course. And Gakpo, they all kept their places in the starting 11. The others obviously came in, even the more experienced ones, in the forms of like your Tsimikas and your Joe Gomez. They of course started, and it was intriguing because obviously we set up with a back three or back five, if you like, with Gomez being the more advanced of the defenders, roaming into midfield, creating a back four/back three and moving it around and flexing to and from there because of obviously limitations in the squad that we have in terms of our experienced players. But I felt the risk was worth taking. I felt like we didn't really have much protection in front of our midfield in terms of experienced central midfielders, and that's where a lot of joy came from for Southampton. They were finding these pockets of space between the midfield and defence that they were exploiting, and they were just trying to isolate Liverpool's fullbacks, push them back, not allow them to spring forward, as we know both Tsimikas and Bradley like to do. And it was obviously really helping Southampton in terms of their attacking game plan to do that. And that's what was causing Liverpool many a problem, and also why Southampton were getting plenty of chances. Like I say, it was mainly down to a lack of composure, a lack of quality in the final third, and of course, Kelleher himself putting on another unbelievable display of top quality goalkeeping that really helped Liverpool on their way. Liverpool started to creep into the game as the first half wore on. They were starting to get a bit more joy in certain areas and eventually took the lead. Lewis Kumas, on his debut, scoring a brilliant moment for him. I think in future he may need to get longer studs because I've seen him slip over a few times. I saw a lot of people slip over tonight, actually, a fair few times. But again, a lovely, well-taken goal. Lovely, well-worked goal down that left-hand side between him and Bobby Clark. Bobby Clark got his assist tonight. So another big night for him as well. He played through Kumas. Kumas cuts inside and wrong foots the goalkeeper, drilling his effort into the bottom corner of the near post. A brilliant moment for him. And I don't think we've heard the last of maybe Lewis Kumas in this capacity. I thought he did all right tonight. I think he was... I think they did well, Southampton, to neutralise some of the threats that Liverpool had. But in terms of the goal, I thought he took it very, very well. And obviously, he is a young guy that obviously Jurgen Klopp rates very highly in that aspect. Second half, Liverpool crept into the game more and more and more, especially as the game wore on. I think you saw how tired Southampton were. They missed a gilt edge opportunity. I don't remember now off the top of my head. I made a note of it and I forgot to bring it with me. I made a note of it. They missed a gilt edge opportunity. A corner played in, and Shea. Oh, what is his name? I forgot his name. I do apologise. Shea something or other. I really do apologise. Finds himself completely unmarked at the back post, and he slices it wide. He sliced it wide into the side netting. Gilt edge opportunity for Southampton to get back into the game. Then, obviously, it was the Jayden Dance show after that. Lovely build-up play, played through by Harvey Elliott, and it's a superbly well-taken goal. It's a superbly well-taken goal by Jayden Dance, just dinking it over the goalkeeper. Beautifully taken by the young striker. And then he gets his second goal of the night as well. Again, build-up play by Liverpool. Lovely pressing to win the ball back high. Ball falls to Connor Bradley. His shot is initially saved, but then Jayden Dance on the follow-up just buries it. Just absolutely buries it. And again, it's a testament to these, to Jurgen Klopp. Is a testament to these young players, how seamlessly they seem to fit in. Jayden Dance was an absolute live wire and coming on. And of course gets rewarded with a couple of goals, and he actually created a couple of more half decent opportunities as well that maybe Liverpool probably should have done better from in hindsight, but also given the situation and everything. You know what? It was still a very good night, in all honesty. Cannot nitpick at all in any of the young players, and obviously their commitment, and obviously their performance level either. Like I say, Van Dijk was solid for 45 minutes. He came off at half time. I'm going to guess that was a planned sub, because if it is another injury, I highly doubt it. I think it was planned that he would play 45 and Konate would play the other 45, considering that they were the defensive pair that obviously played the full, well, Konate played 100 and Konate played 105 minutes, but you know what I mean. Considering that they played the majority of the game on Sunday, I think it was right that Klopp was going to rotate one of them and one of them off. I think we've seen him do it before, actually, in a previous round of this competition. I think Konate was the on the other end of that, so I think that was a tactical switch. But Van Dijk was solid as ever. Konate was absolutely imperious, an absolute beast. Everything was going off around him, and he seemed to just know where to be and what to do in that situation. He was absolutely insane. Kwanzaa had another solid display. Bradley was again very good. Kelleher, like I said already, I mentioned, was absolutely insane again tonight. In the midfield, they ran their socks off. Not very much protection defensively, which is what allowed Southampton to get a lot of joy. But you know what? So they still performed very well when it mattered most. In, of course, James McConnell and Bobby Clark. I keep forgetting Bobby Clark, and I don't understand why. But yeah, they performed very well indeed. Little disappointed in Cody Gakpo tonight. Didn't think Tsimikas was great either, especially defense. Well, in either third, to be honest. I don't think his crosses were that good, and I normally praise Tsimikas in an attacking sense. But defensively as well, I think he was a little suspect at times, but I think it was passable. Attacking wise, like I said, I don't think his crosses were that good, and I normally praise him for having a very decent left foot, but again, passable, and especially considering that this was his first proper game back since injury. Yeah, I guess I can pass him on that one. Like I say, Gakpo was slightly disappointing. His finishing tonight was extremely poor as one of the more senior members. Thought Harvey Elliott was very good tonight. Another quality performance. And again, it's testament to how young he is. I know he's 20 years of age and people go, well, he's had 100 caps, so he's not exactly a kid, is he? You know, just following on from that stupid interview by Rio Ferdinand and Stephen Howson on that one. But he's still young, whether or not he's had 100 caps or not. That's still young. That's still youth, and still in a somewhat inexperienced level. Still of only being 20 years of age, but yet in this kind of scenario where you've got 17, 18, 19-year-olds running around him, he's seen as now one of the more senior players. And again, it was another step up in performance from him tonight, a game in which he gradually grows into, as we normally tend to see from Harvey Elliott. And he, again, to say that obviously he absolutely ran himself into the ground on Sunday, to then come and do it in this game as well against Southampton in a sort of different scenario, different type of game. It was a very, very good display again from Harvey Elliott, and one that was very good for him to come into, and a very good one for him to pick up more experience from. Like I say, Lewis Kumas picks up his goal on his debut. Fantastic moment for him. Yeah, I can't fault. I cannot fault whatsoever anything. The only thing missing from Joe Gomez tonight, I guess, was his goal. He's seeing all these 18-year-olds grab their debut goals and get their goal for senior level goals after only being in for a couple of games, and he's still there after 9 years wanting his first. But don't worry, Joe. Don't worry, Joe. I'm sure your goal will come very, very soon, and I'm sure it will be a very important goal at that as well. So, you know, next round against Manchester United, a winning goal there, that might not be a bad way to get your first goal. Or if you're going to save it for later, save it for the FA Cup semi-final, or save it for the final itself, save it for the Europa League final, Joe. Or save it for a massive Premier League game that we've got coming up in March against Manchester City. Just saying, Joe. There are better times, and your moment will definitely come, because Jesus Christ, dude, you deserve it. You deserve it. Again, asked to play in a bit more of an unfamiliar role tonight, playing a bit more midfield type of role, a bit more advanced for him. But I think, again, he did solid. I think he was a bit suspect at times in terms of his positioning, but being played in a lot of different positions, it was going to happen. I think against better opposition, we may have got a bit more found out tonight, but with all due respect to Southampton, they did play very well. But like I say, Kelleher was inspired. Their finishing wasn't exactly on par. And that was the difference at the end of the day. That was the difference. Klopps kids continue to shine. Like I say, fair play to Southampton. Played very, very well tonight. But ultimately, the night belongs to Liverpool yet again. And what has been a very emotional and very jubilant past couple of days for Reds and their supporters and everybody associated with Liverpool Football Club, to be honest with you. It's been a very exciting couple of days. It would have been very easy for them to take their foot off the pedal in this one. They didn't. They got the job done when it mattered most. It would have been very easy to, again, look at the injuries and look at the inexperience level and maybe say that Southampton probably could have got more from this game, but Liverpool held their nerve, they grew into the game, and ultimately got the victory that mattered most. On to the next round of this particular competition. We've, of course, got Nottingham Forest at the weekend. Massive game, that one, at the City Ground. Forest, of course, will be licking their wounds after losing it very late on to Manchester United tonight. So they'll be looking to redeem themselves. Liverpool will have another 90 minutes in the tank as well, following on from last Sunday's Carabao Cup final. Be interesting, that one. Be very, very interesting game, that one. One that Liverpool, again, should win, and I'm hoping that we get some good news on the injury front, because we need some good news. We need a bit of respite from this injury bug that is plaguing us right now. But again, it's another one that Liverpool should win and get the job done by any means necessary. Not necessarily looking for a quality performance, and as we know, Forest can be very tricky to play when they're at home. But again, it's one of those ones that I'm praying and I'm hoping that Liverpool will get the job done yet again. But if you want to go as far as what's next in this particular competition, we are one game away from a return to Wembley. Liverpool obviously march on through to the quarterfinals, where they will meet Manchester United at Old Trafford. A game that obviously is soaked in the blood of history and bitterness and rivalry and everything else in between. It should be a very interesting and exciting game. I am a little worried though that if the injury bug doesn't heal anytime soon, and if we don't get a bit of respite from it, they may have to call up someone like me to be there, because Jesus Christ, I can't pronounce his name. Trey Anyoni. I do apologise if I completely butchered his name. He came on tonight. He's 16 years of age. Jesus Christ, that kid looks very, very young. And if we're continuing to go down the pecking order, eventually they'll just be pulling ringers off the street to go and play for us. So fingers crossed, like I say, the injury bug heals a little bit and it gives us a bit of respite going forward. Hoping that that's the case, and we might have some senior players back fit and firing again very, very soon. Like I say, Forest is up next. In this competition, though, we set up a very intriguing and exciting quarter-final tie with Manchester United. Very happy about that draw, as ever I am, to play Manchester United, because it means it's another opportunity to show how superior we are to them. Yeah, roll on this next month. It's going to be very, very, very important this next month. It always gets more and more important as the months go on, as the closer we get, and obviously the kind of situations we put ourselves in. These are the situations you want. You don't want it to be like last season, where our season was over by this point in the campaign. You want to be obviously in these situations where, you know, your squad is stretched, your injuries are plaguing you. The minutes are piling up, but you're in the most important games of a season. That's where you want to be, no matter what. So continue with this. Very happy with tonight. Like I say, fair play to Southampton. Thought they did very, very well. Gave a good account of themselves, but unfortunately, it was just the quality of finishing that ultimately proved to be the difference maker as Klopps kids shine once again for the Reds, and long may that continue. Guys, these have just been the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of Liverpool's performance tonight? What do you make of Liverpool's victory over Southampton? What do you make of Southampton themselves? What do you make of the quarter-final draw that has pitted Manchester United to take on Liverpool at Old Trafford in the quarter-final stages of this competition? Let me know all of your thoughts, your comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, down below in the comment section, because I'm sure it'll make for interesting and great reading. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new and want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another instant match reaction to Liverpool's big 3-0 victory over Southampton tonight in the FA Cup 5th round. Come on, you Reds! It's been a while since we've had silverware, a couple of days in fact. Let's bring home the FA Cup as well again this season. Would love another season of at least, at the very least, a domestic cup double like we did a couple of years ago. That would be phenomenal. And obviously, if there's any more to come, who am I to say no? So fingers crossed on that score. But no, in all seriousness, keep going Reds. Love it. Loving every second of it right now. Loving every second of the journey. Playing absolutely amazing. The results are there. The performances, it could be a little better, but you know what? They're still very, very good in these types of competitions to just get the job done and dusted. And of course, the more and more youngsters that keep on coming up, the more and more I'm proud of this club, proud of the academy, proud of what Jurgen Klopp has built and what he has laid for the next manager to come after him, which unfortunately will come in at the end of the season. Anyway, I'm rambling on now. Let's focus on the positives. Let's focus on the here and now. Liverpool through to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Fantastic stuff. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Have a good rest of your night, and I'll speak to you all again very, 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 very soon.